Welcome back, everybody. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Aaron.
This is our show, Cryptocosm, where I talk about the astrological forecasts.
And I bring you, once again, your daily crypto news. And we got one today that I am really excited about.
How really?
I can't even begin to tell you. It's
Really,
up there.
really.
It's up there.
Really,
up there.
really.
It's not Amazon. It's not Google. But it's one of the ones that I've been waiting to hear from about something, anything involving cryptocurrency. And that's PayPal.
Huge.
PayPal.
Huge.
One of the biggest credit card internet processing companies out there, PayPal. What they have done, finally, is filed a patent that allows cryptocurrency payments to be maintained instantaneously. Instantaneously. So if you're sitting there and you're waiting on your Bitcoin order, or, well, mostly it's just the Bitcoin order, most of the rest, maybe Ethereum, especially if another CryptoKitties or something like that comes out. It has a secondary wallet technology that they go through and explain. And it's a little kludgy at this stage. I mean, you really kind of have to have a technical mind to kind of dive through the details. But a secondary wallet technology where they fill the order ahead of time and then allows that process to transfer through when it comes time. But it allows the payment to go through instantly. And it's PayPal. It's PayPal. It's one of those ones that are up there. That's like the McDonald's thing, and it's
huge.
It's fantastic. Even in Australia now. In Australia, we have 1,200 newsstands. Just newsstands. You can walk up on the side of the street and get your Bitcoin and get your Ethereum. Another fantastic advance in the progression of mass adoption. It's amazing. It's amazing. And just at a low rate of what, I think 5% interest rates. Now, you still have to kind of keep in mind your transaction fees and things like that, of course, especially with Bitcoin, depending on where those miners are at. But walk up. You want to buy your newspaper? Oh, you need some Bitcoin? By the way, here you go. I like it. I love it. I
want some more of it.
I know. I can't get enough.
Should be a song.
I can't. I think there is one. TRX, Tron.
Love it.
Disclaimer, full disclaimer, I am holding quite a bag of Tron. It's got a fantastic release
Who isn't
plan.
at this point? Come on. It was like, it's 3 cents, 4 cents, 30 cents. Everybody bought Tron.
And the matter of it, before we get to this next point, the matter of it going, and this really restored my faith in those coins that have gigantic coin caps. Now, Tron's coin cap is 100 billion? 100 billion. So you got your IOTA, which is like 25. You get, I think IOTA, is around 3 billion. Cardano was about 25 billion. And then we have Tron with 100 billion.
That's a lot.
It's ridiculous. But it restored my faith in those coins that have extremely large caps, especially for me, because I'm looking at it the long term. I'm not here for a quick fix. I'm really not. Like, I see so many people going off and oh, I got to get this ICO. I got to be the first one to get there. And then, you buy in at 20 cents and it goes up to 50. You're like, woohoo! And then for the next 3 months, like BitDegree. BitDegree is now at 5 cents. And it shot up to about 60. And everybody's going, oh, it's only been 2.5 months. If you guys lost faith in this project, I'm sorry, millennials. It takes a little more than that.
You gotta plant a seed, you gotta water it, you gotta let the sun shine on it, all right? You can't just expect it to grow and bear fruit in a day and be like, oh, my apple tree didn't produce any apples in 5 minutes. This thing sucks.
That's how it is, though. That's how it is.
Immediate, what is that, immediate gratification?
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification, right.
And that's kind of the world we live in, though, especially with this millennial generation. I'm sorry, we're seeing it more and more. If they don't have it right now, they don't want anything to do with
it just must not exist.
That's
Santa's
right.
not real.
Santa, Easter Bunny, Pluto's not a planet, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know. I stopped listening after Pluto. But so Tron's news is they have their mainnet release coming out now. And it's going to be, it was scheduled in June. And now it moved up a month ahead of time. So not only do we have the all-star Justin Sun, who's making partners like a boss.
With everybody. He's shaking hands with everybody.
He probably never sleeps. I mean, the guy's Twitter feeds go 24 hours a day. He probably takes 20-minute naps every 6 hours or something.
Right, the Einstein way.
Like that. Yeah, that's right. And I mean, this guy is just amazing on the forefront. I mean, on the social media platforms, he's got a huge hype, a huge buzz. And it does a lot for his product.
And now they're pushing out a month earlier.
A month earlier.
Which is awesome. I mean, so many companies that we've been excited about, they're like, okay, is it coming now? When is this release? And then it's just like, it's pushed back a month. Sorry, we're going to push it back, which we understand. This is
my
big
name is
stuff.
Verge. No.
We love you, Verge. We get it. But
It takes a hit. People lose faith when they're looking for something, and especially with a market like this, there's so much speculation. It's really what the people perceive the value to be, but
coming out ahead of schedule is huge.
Absolutely.
That is huge right now.
And coming back around to the point that I was going to make, I was so excited about the mainnet release. Is the biggest thing about the coin caps is we saw Tron go from 4 cents with the market cap, or the coin cap that it had, from 4 cents to 31 cents in, I think, 2 or 3 days.
It was amazing.
Huge. And all the individuals that were like, oh, I'm not going to buy Cardano at 2 cents. That's ridiculous. It's not going to be 50 cents.
Or Ripple when it was back. Listen.
Ripple. We'll get to Ripple here in a little bit. But when I jumped in, Cardano was 2 cents. I was like, you know what? The coin cap's way too big for me. I don't want anything to do with it. And we went to, what, $1.70, I think?
And now back down to 29 cents?
29 cents, bouncing back between 30 and 29 as of this morning. But we're going to get to the point where, that tipping point, where all these individuals are going to start coming in, and the liquidity of money overall is becoming more of a thing. And one of these days, we're going to be trading, Tron for this and Tron for that, or Ethereum for sandwiches, and it's not going to matter. It's all going to be liquid. That's kind of the goal of cryptocurrency. Is everything's going to be on the blockchain, and we no longer have to have these safe havens where we got our gold and our diamond. It's all in the cloud.
Ethereum sandwiches.
Ethereum sandwiches.
Bitcoin buns.
Bitcoin. Oh, I love it.
I'll take a bite out of that right now.
I love it. Love it. Another amazing next generation idea. Next generation. I read this one and I was like,
that's his excited face.
That was that was the O face. Next generation. Dfinity coin. Dfinity protocol. What is Dfinity, you ask? I'm so glad you asked that.
I was just, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I'm so glad you asked. This is how excited I am. And so we have Polychain Capital, which is a huge venture capitalist firm. And so big that they're the ones that had the early days backed Apple, Google, Twitter, Etsy, and the list goes on. Just dumped $61 million
Pocket
into
change.
Yeah, I wish. Into the Dfinity protocol. So what is it?
Tell me.
What is it?
Tell us.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Kinda.
Cloud 3.0. Let me elaborate. Cloud 3.0. We have a world. It's ginormous. We have all these computers in it. And if you run this protocol, you can join the network and actually help host what might be one of the largest cloud hosting environments this world has ever seen.
And we get to be a part of it.
And we get to be a part of it. And I'm sure if we get to be a part of it, just like things like Substratum, if you're the one connecting, guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
You're going to make some money.
More passive income. That's one of my favorite things about cryptocurrency. When I can sit back and actually let some of these machines that I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on, hundreds or thousands, not hundreds of thousands. I don't have that many computers. Yeah. But when some of these things, and my refrigerator my smart refrigerator can process something on the internet and I can get paid for it, I'm all about that. It's about time my stuff works for me. And I think that's kind of where we're going.
It's part of the new revolution,
millennials,
right?
It's not here yet, but if you hold out a little longer, I know you guys aren't very good at that, but if you hold out a little longer, there will be ways, and maybe that's kind of why this generation is coming in, because they're just going to be used to this kind of stuff. We'll see what happens.
I mean, it is the age of Aquarius. We're coming here. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. Again, we're in that birthing process right now, so it's like, hold tight, we're not out of the woods yet. We're not done. We're still pushing this beast through. This beast, who calls her kid a beast? I mean, you know what I'm saying. It is, though. This is exciting times.
I say mine are the coolest pets I've ever had.
Coolest pets?
Coolest pets I've ever had. I love
like
you guys.
little drunk people.
I do.
Wobbling all around.
Oh, and last but not least, and I want to hear some comments from you guys. What are your thoughts? I saw a review on Twitter today, and the question or the poll that was asked was, on the top 100 coins, what's your most hated, disliked, disgusted by coin? What is it for you? Tell me. Be honest. Don't lie.
Ripple.
I fall in that category too. And I think it's because it's more of the same.
Same thing. It's the same thing with a different wrapper on it. You know, it's the sheep and wolves clothing, if you will. For me, that's how I kind of perceive it.
You know, and I think about this same topic over and over and over again, probably much like some of you guys. But how much money is there in the banking industry? How much money are going in these worldly transactions? And how? Yes, we get it. We get it.
There's money to be made in Ripple.
Quadrillions of dollars.
There's money to be made.
Quadrillions of dollars. But the rumors are going around once again that Coinbase, one of our favorite fiat gateways, is going to be releasing XRP Ripple. And so half of the posts that you see, oh, guess what, guys? With no proof at all, let me tell you, Coinbase is going to release Ripple. That's one side of the table. Mm-hmm. And on the other side of the table, we have Coinbase itself, which now has to be extra careful because of the lawsuits now that they have on their hands. Class action lawsuits filed because of Bitcoin Cash. Everybody remembers when Bitcoin Cash came out on Coinbase, and it was, what, $4,500, $4,300?
Well, when it froze, it was actually locked at 9,000. What it looked like, it said 9,000.
Damn you. I'm
right.
Sorry.
It scared people. It also got people excited. It got people into that frenzy. It was a frenzy, and no one knew what was going on because really, what it was 1,800, and then it doubled in an instance to 36. Then it went up to 45, and it froze. And then when it froze and when it was like, you can buy in, I remember it was either Binance or Coinbase. It was literally like $9,000.
What's Coinbase?
It was for one coin, but you couldn't buy, you couldn't sell, nothing could happen with that. No, you're right, because Binance you could still trade. You could still trade into Binance for the actual price of what it was for around $3,000 to $4,000.
And I think quoted on the statistics that I read was about 13,000 people or so got handed to them because they were buying this stuff at these raised rates where they had some insider trading going on. So once Coinbase hit the button and said, hey, guess what, world? We got Bitcoin Cash. They were the first ones on there. And you know what? You guys deserve whatever's coming to you. I'm sorry. Once again,
we're talking about Coinbase, not the people that bought it, right?
The individuals that set those limits on Coinbase.
Right. I'm not talking about the people that bought for $4,500.
I can't imagine what Coinbase has got to go through to be able to keep all their mouths shut. Or who knows? There's probably like an inner sanctum of individuals that are the only ones that know. And something got leaked, you know what I'm saying? And well, that's what happens when you break the laws, I suppose, right? I mean,
comes back around, comes full circle.
It does.
Everything comes full circle.
It does, unfortunately.
And you know, that's like one of the things right now. I just had a really lengthy conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. It is about, you know, the stability of the market versus the volatility of the market and the regulations not being there to back it up, saying, well, if I want to, you know, buy this new truck, he just bought this beautiful new truck. And he's like, well, if I were to buy this, you know, at this much, or I had X amount of money in this, in my cryptocurrency, and then I walked in the next day thinking this was in my account, and I walked in to go, you know, the Ford dealership or whichever dealership it was that he bought it from, and it's like, oh, well, now you actually only have this much, you know, and that scared the crap out of him, and he's just like, Aaron, I don't know if I can really invest in this, and I'm telling him my aspects. I'm like, dude, now is a great time, buy some Bitcoin. It's the most popular one right now, and that's the one that's going to be on the most people are talking about Bitcoin, even though us that are in this world know that there's a lot of other options and a lot of other ways to make money, a lot of other avenues that are going to be very, very successful in the future. But we have to look at the fact that Bitcoin is still the most talked about.
It's the top dog.
It's the top dog.
It's the original gangster.
So right now, and we're friends, we are heading into retrograde season. we are heading into retrograde season. I'll touch on that in a little bit here.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be huge. We're definitely going to see the same kind of thing that we saw back in December. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but it's like, and I'm telling him like, Ryan, now's the time, dude. If you're going to put $100 or $1,000 or just buy a full one outright, it's a really good time to do that because we're going to see these go up. And he's just like, yeah, but what happens the second it goes right back down? And where do the dice really land? Because they just keep rolling. They just keep on rolling.
Which kind of leads me to a point. Have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. Have a plan. Do you want to double your money? Do you want to triple your money? Do you want to times 10 it? Do you want times 50, times 100? What is it that you're actually looking for?
You just want to invest in something. Do you just believe in a company? I mean, there's a couple of coins that I'm into that I'm just like, whatever. I just believe in this company, and I really hope that they are successful and profit, and maybe down the road, some third-gen coins that maybe I can profit on as well.
But have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what goes up must eventually come down at some point. Yes, absolutely, or correct, or sometimes crash. Who knows how that's going to happen? So make sure you have a plan. Talk to people, figure out what the risks are, and we're going to bring some more tips from the vault to you guys later on about making sure your portfolio is nice, solid, and diversified.
Yeah.
But back lastly on the Ripple, we want to know your guys' comment. What do you think is happening here? Well, what's your plan for Ripple? Are you in it? Are you not, are you against it? And tell us why. Let us know, because
do you believe in the longevity?
I'm on the fence about it, and to be honest with you, I think the little voice in the back of my head is going, just rebel against the system. No, but the other side of me is, hey, you know what? We need to combine what we were doing and what we're going to be doing to make way for that future. So it's a little bit of back and forth for me. So I'd love to hear you guys' comments and see what you guys think.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And we had a pretty awesome weekend here. We're now finishing, and we talked about being in that dreamy pool of Pisces, and we had, on Sunday we had the Sun and Neptune meet up, which only happens once a year. Mercury and Venus also met up the exact same time on Sunday, which is cool. As again, we're formulating our dreams, we're talking about our dreams, we're launching those rockets of desires. It's like, this is what I want and desire. And today, on Tuesday, they're both, Mercury and Venus, are moving into Aries. All right, moving into the sign of self, the sign of acceleration, okay? So we've formulated our dreams. We have created the idea, we've created the wish list, and now it's time to make the moves to make that stuff happen. So I really see what's coming up here in March is a very progressive, very fast-forward advancements in cryptocurrency. On the 9th, we're going to hammer these retrograde dates into you on the 9th and all the way till June, okay, is the Jupiter retrograde again in Scorpio. All right, and then on March 22nd is the retrograde of Mercury, which happens 3 times a year, and it's going to happen 3 times in the fire signs, okay? Last December, it happened in Sagittarius when we saw the crazy from $10,000 to nearly $20,000.
So wait, what we saw in December is now coming up again.
But even better, because it's happening in the sign of Aries, it's going to start at 2 degrees Aries and move backward into Pisces, okay? So again, this astrology we're talking about the planets from Earth's perspective, all right? So it's, yes, Mercury at 2 degrees on the 22nd, and then it stops, and then starts moving backward from Earth's perspective back into Pisces. So we're seeing ourselves go from this, it's like, did I forget something? Did I not move forward with something that I should have? Did I not listen to my friend's advice? Should I have taken their advice? And then moving backward into Pisces means we're moving back into that dream place. So I highly anticipate a very big end of March, beginning of April, that this market is going to see very, very similar numbers to what we had seen at the end of December. Now, our friend Krishna here asked us on our page, what does that mean as far as these retrogrades go? Okay, so if you're watching, it means a lot. Okay, the retrograde cycles are going to happen 3 times a year, and most astrologers will tell you don't sign contracts, don't move, don't make travel plans, don't. It's just. A lot of people tell you don't do anything. Just sit there. Just sit still and just twiddle your thumbs as the world around you goes crazy. Okay? That's not what I recommend. There is a ton of money to be made during the retrograde cycles, okay? If you're already invested, and if you're invested and you know how to watch the bouncing ball. If you know how to watch the bouncing ball in the altcoin market, there is a ton of money to be made during this. Because what's going to happen is people are just going to literally, it's going to be like a freaking parade where there's just throwing candy everywhere, where people are like, oh, I've got some extra money, I better dump in now, dump in now, dump in now.
They see that train leaving. And
right.
They watch it start going to the moon, and that's when most of the people start jumping in.
That's exactly right.
Because they're uneducated. They don't know.
And what train is it? What train is the most talked about train?
Bitcoin.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I pulled all of mine out when it was about 18.8. Okay, I pulled all of my money out of Bitcoin and threw it into the altcoins around 18.8. And then over the past couple months, I've been putting back in when I've seen it come down. When we talked about the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses, when we've been talking about on the show, we know that this dip is going to happen. When it hit $6,000, it's like, okay, this is a good price. It's time to start moving back in because, again, this is the biggest train. It's the most talked about. And like we've said before, it's like AOL Instant Messenger was the king. It was the top dog for a very long time, but right now, who uses IM? Now, there's another aspect, and I'm a super eco-friendly person. The mining aspect of Bitcoin is something that I particularly don't like. It's so power hungry. It adds a ton of heat. To our environment. It is not an environmentally eco-friendly system. It's not.
No. It's not green at all.
It's not green at all. So it's like it's kind of hard. Again, it's almost like that Ripple thing. It's just like I don't see the future of Bitcoin. Is very different than Ripple, but they're both, to me, they both show significant signs of, okay, this is the dawn of Aquarius. We are moving forward into a new future. This is no longer the patriarchy of it's me, the head honcho, that controls this company and controls this world, and I'm sitting here at the head of the table. It's the Knights of the Round Table, and we talked about that too. Were you there? Did you watch that one? That was a pretty good one. But we're seeing it's the same patterns in history, okay? We are moving into this Knights of the Round Table, and it's just like, yeah, Bitcoin, it is awesome. It is the king right now. But do you have the future in mind to be the eco-friendly, consumer, tradable currency of the future?
Yeah, sure. Well, a lot of the reviews of coins and stuff that I'm reading now and roadmaps that are coming out, we're starting to see, and we'll get more into this in other episodes, but we're starting to see hybrids. So we're starting to get half proof of work, which is mining and machines, half proof of stake, which is individuals holding coins, helping to verify these transactions. So it's making the networks a little more balanced.
Right. We need that.
A little more equal, a little more power friendly.
We need that.
And we'll see what happens when Cardano comes along with its Ouroboros protocol.
I just like the name
which
of it.
is
Say
the Ouroboros.
Oh, it's nice.
Ouroboros.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Ouroboros. Okay. Their Ouroboros protocol, that is the first basically hack-proof proof of stake coin that's just legit.
Love it.
So I'm sure they got some Einstein Brainiac guys working behind the scenes very, very hard, and everybody's waiting very anxiously to see
I'm one of them.
what this is all about when it comes out. And I can't wait till the staking comes out. And we'll definitely keep you guys on posted and things like this so your coins just aren't sitting there. We'll make sure you guys are up to date and have those in your wallet so you're able to stake those coins and reap the benefits of helping to collaborate on that network and make it possible. So and once again, there's that passive income once again. So many great things to look forward to. I'm overflowing. Can you see it?
Glowing.
I'm overflowing.
Glowing.
It's a
He had
beautiful
a man
thing.
at Petty just glowing. He got his hair did, permed up.
It's hard sometimes.
Life's good. Little true wisdom.
Let's
how we do it.
Cut the deck.
Oh,
Well, there we go.
there it is.
The cards have spoken. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Dalai Lama, one more time. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Sometimes we're so obsessed on
it's gotta be this way. I'm
It
gonna.
has to be that way. We can't just water it and let it grow. I mean, if you plant a flower, you plant a rose is going to be you don't have to make it, turn it into something. You just have to feed it and just
Love it, nurture it.
That's right. That's right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure you hit that little bell notification at the bottom so you can stay with us all the way through. Thank you so much for joining us here on
Cryptocosm.